golf course that's produced many a great champion. Tiger Woods has won it a whopping 8 times. Ernie Els has won it twice. This is a place that tests the best in the game.
This, she is winding up, just wants to tear the cover off this golf ball. Wow, I mean, she absolutely annihilated that tee ball. Frank, I know you like boxing. That was some heavyweight power right there.
Smoked it.
315. This looks to be at least an extra club, maybe 2 clubs going way up that hill to the green.
Safely on deck.
Terrific golf shot. And now that for an easy birdie. Been pretty good all day from this distance, just trying to take care of business. Suddenly a ray of sunshine with that birdie.
There is hope. Now in the top 25.
Let's go down to the 11th. Frank, nothing spectacular to this point in the first round. What does the player need to do just to kind of generate some momentum?
I actually think they're playing all right, Rich. It's just, you compared to the top of the leaderboard, you start to think, well, maybe they're struggling. But there's ebbs and flows in this game. At the moment, it's just almost like a holding pattern. But it's time to change that.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin. Frank, another good hole, the par 4 11th, looking at the second shot now.
Yeah, the second shot has a similar look to the second shot at the third hole at Bay Hill. Water all down the left-hand side, that has to be respected. And a green really where you've got to favour the right side, or at least right of middle.
What an outstanding shot that was.
Got the right result, too. It's just a tapping.
So they'll tap in. Comfortably inside the cut line, the young prodigy makes another birdie. Now to the par 5 12th. Frank, how good of a scoring opportunity is this?
Well, anytime you get a par 5 at Bay Hill, got to take advantage of it. Long and straight.
That's how you do it. Frank, why are great rivalries so important? Why do we love them?
I think because people like to sit on one side of the fence. You're either for or against a great player. And I think we see that today with Tiger Woods and Rory McIlroy. There's the McIlroy fans that think his future is so bright. There's the Woods fans that still want him to pass Jack Nicklaus's record. That's the beauty. You've got to have an opinion, and you have to have a player.
Well, that one didn't work out. Didn't look bad in the air. It hit the green, but didn't sit.
Yeah, it was never going to stop.
Beautifully done, an eagle, and suddenly into the top 15 and into the picture here. Frank, the par 4 13th, relatively short, but not necessarily easy.
Yeah, stringent tee shot. A lot of people are tempted to take a bigger club off the tee. 300 yards runs out of the fairway, but really, what does that give you in?
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Par 4 13, Frank, how do you hit this approach shot?
Rich, it's the first par 4 at Bay Hill where the water is actually on the right of the green, and that has to be taken into consideration. Just a little errant shot, and then you're going to be wet. So a little left of the flag, that's where you want to be.
Seems to like it. Looks like it's headed for the green. What a shot. Perfectly placed right next to the hole. Nudge this one home. Finish it up. Starting to put it together right now, Frank.
Join that trio at the top.
That's the end of round 1, and we saw a lot of good golf out there today, Frank.
And it was a bonus to anyone that got off to a good start today.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live second-round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
This is straight at it.
That's a really good line. Well, that is an exceptional shot on the green and in position for a birdie.
Yeah, it's a formality now.
Back-to-back birdies, we'll see.
And yet another birdie, this time inching into the top 5.
Getting ready to tee off here at the 8th. Frank, this hole has it all. Dogleg, bunkers, water. How do you successfully navigate it?
It's such a pretty looking hole, Rich. That bunker down the left just sort of pops out and you see it. So you can either work it off that to the right, either that or just aim a little right. But be careful of those trees on the right.
Wayward from the tee, and this one is headed for the rough, Frank. Frank, just into that first cut.
Yeah, it's sitting up. Really, this isn't too bad a situation. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
On the green in regulation. Makeable putt right here, currently sitting at 1 under for the round. That is some good work right there. Birdie, one shot closer to the lead. Rounding out the front 9 here at Bay Hill, 474-yard par 4. Frank, you've played this hole before. Where are you lining up when you step onto the tee here?
There's an out of bounds all the way down the left side that you have to be cognizant of. But that bunker, 290 yards carries it. And yet again, another hole that favors the long hitter.
That's a good spot right there.
Center cut. Oh, that was sweet. Straight down the middle.
Well, this is going to be an interesting day. The wind is howling, or as they would say in Scotland, just a wee breeze.
This looks like it's heading for the bunker.
Oh my goodness, that could have been really bad.
Can you imagine if that kicks towards the bunker? It's at sneaky distance. Rich, that just adds insult to injury to the rest of the field. Another birdie, and the gap even wider.
A sensational performance. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back. That's an absolute beauty.
So this is where club selection becomes much more important. Uphill, make sure you have enough stick, and then swing away. Good chance now for a birdie. That was an outstanding play.
Oh, it's almost a guarantee there after that shot.
A real threat now. Another birdie and 9 under for the tournament. There you have it. The second round is complete. Another solid effort put together, and it shows on the scorecard.
And after 2 rounds, you really start to see not only who's playing well, but who's consistent.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the third leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the Orlando Classic. Outstanding tee shot.
Yeah, ball sitting up. You don't have to worry about the wind or anything there. You just take a full-blooded cut at the second shot from here.
This is a good-looking shot. Just a superb shot.
You're not going to see much better than that all day today.
Frank going for another birdie here.
Just to get on a real roll.
Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. Back to the action here at the second. It's a par 3, demanding hole, Frank, isn't it?
Longest par 3 on the golf course. Slightly downhill, but you need every advantage here. It requires your best.
That will be a great look at birdie. And getting ready for the putt.
And with that birdie, tied at the top.
Now to the par 4 third, picturesque and difficult hole, Frank.
It might be picturesque, but it's certainly not for the faint of heart. This is going to take your best swing.
Water all down the left side. Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. The wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
It is the house that Arnold built, the Bay Hill Club and Lodge. Arnold's summer home is actually in western Pennsylvania, Latrobe Country Club. That's where he grew up. He came to Central Florida in the 1970s and fell in love with this piece of ground. He bought it and he's grown it ever since, and now it is host to one of the premier stops on the PGA Tour. Big, strong golf course. You have to really be a good ball striker and generally one of the longer hitters to be successful around here. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Nobilo. Fourth hole is the first par 5 on the golf course, Frank.
Very scoreable. 2 bunkers down the left, the first of which takes 330 yards to get it past that.
Definite birdie hole, maybe even a chance for Eagle to really jumpstart the round. Excellent start off the tee. That's a great way to begin this hole. Second from an excellent lie. Sit down. Get down.
Oh, this is going.
How'd you like that strike?
That was top of the tree.
No problems early. Looks good.
Does look good. This bodes well. We might be in for a very, very low round today.
Frank, now to the fifth. What's the strategy here at this shorter par 4?
Well, if you want to flex your muscles, Rich, take it over that left bunker. With a little trailing breeze, you might even get close to the green. That's fine.
Frank, this is the way you draw it up. This is how the game's supposed to be played.
Yeah, so far, everything going according to plan.
Second shot. Good look at the green. Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Struck that one pure, about 8 feet away. Beautifully done. Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the 3rd leg of the FedEx Cup playoffs. Today, it's live final round coverage of the Orlando Classic.
There's always advantage of hitting it further than most, Rich, and straighter than most. When you put the two together, it's just straight up a head start.
Well, you can hear it right off the center of the club face. This has a chance to be close. What a display of shot making this has been, Frank.
Oh, that incredible approach shot there. The easiest of birdies coming up.
Score that a birdie. The Bay Hill Club and Lodge features a really exciting finishing stretch. 16 is a reachable par 5. You'll see eagles and birdies there coming home. 17, a very difficult par 3 over the water. The bunker is there. Takes an excellent shot. And then 18 is all you want. We know that with the water in front, that second shot which comes over the lake, and that's a hold-your-breath moment. It is a great finishing 3-hole stretch at Bay Hill. Needs to get all of this from 190 yards. Frank, these days golfers are training like high-level athletes from other sports. Rory McIlroy, for example, has been using a guy by the name of Steve McGregor, who happened to be the trainer for the New York Knicks of the NBA.
And part of his training now is high altitude. The majority of the medal holders, for example, in the Olympics, or medal winners in the Olympics, actually use high altitude training. You know, you can develop more red blood cells in a shorter period of time. But, you know, golf, we've had so many different types of training from the athlete side. But you go back to the old days of Henry Cotton beating an old tire. Vijay Singh picked up on that. Or even the rhythm of Sam Snead. He used to count in the rhythm. It was 1, 2, 3. It was 1 at the top of the swing, 2 at impact, and 3 at the follow-through. All those things are still very valid today.
That's the idea. Just knock it in. Always like this par 3, Frank. Par 3 17th. Let me amend that. I like watching the best in the world play it because it can be daunting, especially with the pressure ratcheted up.
When they have the tournament on, this green is brick hard. A little bit downhill. That's about the only advantage you get. In the direction of the sand.
Looks like it.
Rub the shamrock. Got away with getting in the bunker there.
Settles in over the putt.
Really solid stroke.
Frank, how'd you like to be a rookie? You're going up against, at the time, the greatest player in the game, the great white shark, Greg Norman, and you hole a 7-iron to win a tournament?
Well, all you had to do was look at the expression on Norman's face as that ball landed and went in.
What did he hit there?
7-iron.
Good strike, good lie, good chance to attack the pin.
Well, Frank, this is one of the most famous shots in the whole sport of golf, the second to 18 at Bay Hill.
And one of the most unpredictable, unless your name is Robert Gamers. Remember, he holed his second shot here to win the tournament many years ago. For some reason, the yardage book's almost got to be thrown away here at 18, Rich, because that second shot always plays longer or shorter than the actual number. So be a little lucky here, as well as good at 18. Well, there's a big green, and they're going to use every inch of it.
Terrific golf shot.
And now that for an easy birdie
To win the Orlando Classic. Continues to amaze, yet another birdie, and what a day it's been. That's why you play the game, to stack up the wins. Great effort right there.